Welcome, everybody. Today, we are playing the 1985 Rail Shooter Classic Space Harrier. And here on the title screen, this game hides a dark secret that you can see there on the splash screen that I think reveals it all. I have a couple of theories of this that we're going to go into. So stick around till the end of the video and all will be revealed. But this is a huge hit from Sega. I remember the first time I saw this, and it wasn't in the arcade. It was for the Sega Master System, and because this was like the big title for it that they really advertised, and it looked absolutely amazing. And I knew it was an arcade game, but I'd never seen it in the arcades at that point. But I've talked about how great Hill's department store was, especially for like video games, and they had a Master System set up there where you could play Space Harrier on it in demo mode, and I was blown away. And so I wanted a Master System so bad for a while, just based off of the strength of the Space Harrier port, not having played the arcade, but just like, oh, this is so cool. But eventually, the other games went out, and I ended up wanting a Nintendo instead. But I always did want a Master System because of that. And then I was also confused because there was Space Harrier for the Master System and then Space Harrier 3D. And Space Harrier 3D was kind of a sequel that used the cool 3D glasses that you could get for the Master System, one of the few titles that utilized that. But they put some new bosses in, a new stage. Never played it. But we were playing the arcade version of Space Harrier today. And, originally this was going to be a military themed game featuring a fighter jet. It sounds like it was a precursor to what would become Afterburner, and that came out in 1987. But at the time, in 1985, the technical limitations made that it wasn't really going to work. So he changed it to make the sprite smaller, make it a guy. Just a guy flying around on the screen using jet propelled human character flying around, and put it in a fantasy setting. So pretty cool. The arcade cabinet, which I ended up playing years later, that was so cool. It had like a flight stick, and it would move based on your thing, so you were constantly moving around the screen. Like it was rocking. You had a seatbelt in it and everything. And I gotta say, like, that movement made the challenge of the game a lot harder than it is playing it at home on either the console system, or just even playing the arcade version at home with a regular joystick and buttons. So but yeah, they had 3 versions of the cabinet. One was the deluxe moving one that people are familiar with, and then there was the just a standard sit down one that didn't move, and then there was a stand up one. I don't think I've ever seen the regular sit down one. I've seen the deluxe and I've seen the stand up, but I've never seen like just the regular non-moving sit down one. But let's go ahead and dive into this. Welcome to the fantasy zone. Get ready. And yeah, it was originally going to be a Harrier jet, and that wasn't going to work, so he just became the guy, and he kept the Harrier name and just put space in front of it. So And yeah, here in the early stages, like the thing that's going to get you the most isn't the enemies, it's the landscape. You're gonna be dying. I probably die most like that, running into a tree.
Get ready.
Also famous for having some of the best music in an arcade game. Just a video game in general. Oops. Okay.
Get ready.
And we're here at the first boss already. Incredibly successful franchise. Well, you wouldn't know based on how little Sega does with it anymore. It is kind of hard to, you know, catch that lightning in the bottle. I mean, this was like one of the first 16-bit games. Uses the Space Harrier arcade system board. Oh man, I didn't move fast enough. That was stupid. Basically the same thing that Hang On, Super Hang On. Oh. Wow, that's like the worst I've done against this first boss. I love how upbeat the announcer is. You're doing great.
Get ready.
That's God.
Get ready.
All right, I gotta get it together. Shut my mouth and we'll just enjoy the music for a little bit.
Get ready.
Oh man. Okay.
Get ready. Get ready.
Gotta pull it together. Wow, I am doing really bad. Of course, it's like, you know, when I decide to record. But yeah, there isn't like really a story to this. You just kind of, you're just a dude with a anti-gravity jetpack gun that you fly around with and shoot monsters in the fantasy zone, which is, you know, that whole welcome to the fantasy zone has led to a lot of speculation that this takes place in the same universe as
Get ready.
the Sega title Fantasy Zone. Like, so this is like Opa's planet.
Get ready.
The director of Fantasy Zone has denied that, but in the 2000 kind of sequel to this, those mech guys are called the bonus stage. Hop on the Uriah the Luck Dragon and take out the trees. So think of it this way, like, okay, you're going through, you hop on your Luck Dragon.
You're doing great.
Oh, thanks, man. I don't feel like I'm doing great. I've done a lot better. I was doing a lot better the practice run I did the other day, firing this up to that I'm doing right now, I'll tell you that. But okay, so it's like you get the bonus stages where these guys, these little mech guys, they're called DOMs. Like a green Dom, red Dom, blue Dom. And I guess they are based after the Rick Doms from Mobile Suit Gundam. That's pretty cool. They're kind of named after them and a little bit too. But yeah, so you've got this happy music. You're in the fantasy zone, and then like you hop on the Luck Dragon and you go around and what do? You take out the landscape. I'm gonna shoot the mammoths. They're too goofy looking, man. Doesn't feel right. Which brings me to the other thing. Like, I don't think, like, it's Space Harrier. I don't think that you are, like, necessarily trying to like, free a planet or anything. Now, I mean, alright, the term Harrier. And obviously it was referred to the fighter jet, you know, the VTOL Harrier jets. But it also means, like, okay, somebody that, like, harasses, or, like, antagonizes, kind of. And also, you know, like, a runner, which makes sense because you're just running. But if we take it in like the sense of, okay, I'm going to harass and antagonize Space Harrier. Well, are they invading the planet? It doesn't seem like, because I mean they're pretty entrenched. It looks like. I mean, we're going against stuff in the landscape too. And it welcomes us to the fantasy zone. Like, we're arriving there from somewhere else. So, like, we're the outsider. My theory is that, since the character is just named Harrier, I think that we just go to a planet and we just kind of fuck with them for fun. And that's the dark secret of Space Harrier. Like,
Get ready.
man.
Get ready.
we're the ones, we just show up at this planet and we just start messing with them. We're like, haha. Nice planet you got, nerds. And so that's a way of looking at it. You're the Harrier. You're showing up here in the fantasy zone and you're just doing this. Or maybe it's like a Westworld kind of thing where, like, okay, if it's a fantasy zone, like, why don't you just show up and just blow the hell out of everything you see?
You're doing great.
And I think that's why the announcer is so cheery. That's why the music is so upbeat and cheery, because it's, oh shit.
Get ready.
It's not like this big struggle against nightmarish evil or anything. It's literally just, you know, you're just having fun. You're just out there going through it. That is the dark secret of Space Harrier.
Get ready.
Although, like, I don't want to believe that it's too hard. I don't think he's a bad guy, though. I don't think you're doing it out of malice. I think that there's a reason to it, and there's a purpose. And I think that you're wanted there. Like, this is something that they actually enjoy. It's all a game to them, and part of that is like, well, you have Uriah who's helping you, and I think and clearly Uriah the Luck Dragon, and it's not Luck Dragon, it looks like it was inspired by Falcor from Neverending Story, so I'm calling him a Luck Dragon. You see him for the first time and you think Luck Dragon, but you're taking out the landscape, which is probably like your biggest enemy in the game. It's the single biggest threat that you run into. I mean, look at that.
Get ready.
So why would he be doing that? Like, I mean, well, maybe he's evil. I don't think so. I don't think he's evil at all. I don't think the Harrier's evil. I think that what they're doing is like, it's a way of kind of tending your garden, right? You know, it's like, okay, we need to just take out some of these trees. Everything, like, things are growing out of control. It's a way of maintaining balance in the ecosystem, and you need a Harrier to come in and do that. And it's, I mean, obviously you're testing out their military, and they're fun. And I think what backs this up is if we go back and we look at that splash screen at the beginning, you have a green Dom. You know, these robots that's there with you, and you're sitting on its shoulder and you're happy and you're getting along. And then there's like the mammoth, and it's just there being goofy. That is not something that you're going to do if you're fighting off some like horrible evil force. And I'm sure, Harriers probably do that, but in this case, I don't think it is. I think it's a mutually beneficial thing. Like, go have some fun, and you help us out with these things to kind of keep balance in the ecosystem, and and it'll be a good time. Well, like an exercise. I mean, maybe some of these skeleton things need to go, but that's kind of a benefit. I think it's like hunting game, like to maintain a certain population, so to keep things in balance. And I think that's what the Harrier does. I think that is the dark secret of this game. I know I said to stick around till the end, but this is a short game.
You're doing great.
So here's another example. Here comes Uriah. He's friendly. He's a cute little guy. Just, yeah, let's take these out. Take out these towers. It looks like Vancouver's ripoff of the Space Needle. The big ones.
You're doing great. Get ready.
See? It's the trees. Those are the biggest threats that you face. I guess they did do a sequel. I'll double check this later. Is it too fast for me to take a look at my notes right now? I think there was a PlayStation version around, I think 2007, 2003. I don't think it was the Sega Ages thing.
Get ready.
But it was like you were in the fantasy zone. You had to fight against the oooh that had turned evil, and you had to free the fantasy zone from oooh, which is like that puts a whole different spin on that game too. Oh my god!
Get ready.
In 2000, there was a quasi follow-up called Planet Harriers to this game, and I think that was arcade only. There weren't any ports of that. Never played it. Sounds pretty cool. Looks pretty cool, but I don't think it's gonna have that same sort of feel and excitement that this does, but it's probably pretty good. But I think oooh is an unlockable character in that, which is pretty cool.
Get ready.
Not my day. Not my day at all.
Get ready.
Oh man,
Get ready.
you know, there's a lot of games. I don't claim to be the best at all, or even like really good. I just know stuff, and I love these games, and I just like playing them. A lot of which I haven't played in a long time, so you know I am getting used to it. But I have not. This is bad. Like, you know, I'll cut myself slack on a lot of games doing bad on them for either like just not familiar enough or haven't played it in a long time. But I'm just doing bad today. I was just playing this a few days ago. I'm like, oh yeah, I want to do a video on Space Harrier, and I was tearing through it. like nobody's business. And I'm like, oh yeah. I'm like, I remember this.
Get ready.
And now I'm just like, this is like, you know, I'm playing like it's the first time I played it on that Sega Master System in Hills. Just being like blown away by it, but then just dying left and right. Yeah, I've never played through the Master System version, and it's funny, like, when I think back about, like, how blown away by the graphics I was on it. Nowadays, it's like, it still looks good. It's definitely, like, a lot choppier than this, and it doesn't have that same sort of fast feel that it did back then. I think because, you know, things have changed so much. We see so much faster things now.
Get ready.
But it just hasn't really done it for me. The same way. I'm like, well, why would I go back to that when I can play the arcade version? Maybe I should, just to, because I guess they did give it like a proper ending. Oh, you know, they're gonna want resolution.
Get ready.
But, you know, I like the fact that it's open, because then that allows me to give you the theories about it that I presented here. That you're just screwing with them. You're just on this planet, you show up and you blow up the landscape a little bit, and they'll throw some stuff at you, and then you just go about your business. You go off somewhere else. Like, oh, like I said, or it's a Westworld thing where you're paying to have this experience of just going in, and you're like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna shoot everything. Oh, seriously?
Get ready.
All right, good. Notice that Forza looks like when he first came out, just like a big vagina. What was Yu Suzuki trying to say with that? Oh man.
Get ready. Get ready. You're doing great.
It doesn't feel like I'm doing great, but, you know, thanks. And here's stage 18, we get the big boss rush. I love this music. The soundtrack's been released multiple times. Vinyl and CD. It's even available on Apple Music. Probably Spotify too. I don't use Spotify, so I don't know. But you know, I love just listening to the soundtrack of this. It's one of my favorite video game soundtracks. I do like this game, but honestly, I probably love the soundtrack more than the game. I love the game too. You know, don't get me wrong. It's just the soundtrack is just that good.
Get ready.
Oh my god, like, seriously, why am I doing so bad today? Honestly, it's like I'm doing better when I'm like half asleep.
Get ready.
With yeah, this definitely inspired a lot of rip-offs. Namely, like, you know, 3D World Runner being the biggest one on NES. Sucks. I think a lot of people got it thinking, oh, okay, this will be like the Space Harrier version. for NES. I was so skeptical of it. Ida, this boss, named after the original designer of the game, it has like the big Moai Easter Island head design, and Yu Suzuki named Ida because Ida was the original designer of the when it was still Harrier, and I guess he had a big head.
Get ready.
Vada looks like that He-Man toy. Yeah, I knew that was gonna happen.
Get ready.
It was like, God, I forget what it was. Battle Bones, I think. It was like just a weird big dinosaur skeleton looking thing that would serve as a carrying case or transport for your Masters of the Universe figures. That's what this guy reminds me of. Oh, Battle Bones. Congratulations, you in. Here comes Uriah. The end. That's it. No big story. Just you just show up and you just harass the inhabitants of this planet, shoot a bunch of stuff, ride off on your luck dragon, and that's it. But yeah, as you can see, like, you're sitting on the Rick Dom. You're fine with it. This man, that's that goofy bastard, he's there, he's fine with it. Like, they're not evil. You're not fighting them. You are the Harrier. And again, like I said, Harrier means I'm going to pull up the actual definition. And it's not one who harries. But yeah, and not obviously, you know, they meant it as the jet plane, but you know, the reason it was that is because it was used to oh my God, how you pull up a dictionary entry because you want to read something, and when you get like to the dictionary and you look at, all right, Harrier meaning, and it's like one who harries, like that sort of shit should not be allowed. I'm sorry, because that wouldn't fly in elementary school. You know, you try that, you're not going to get away with it. But yeah, it's a person or animal that harasses or attacks others, which is kind of perfect for them. Like, that's what you're doing. You're not being harried by them. You are the Harrier. You are harassing and attacking the things in the fantasy zone. So that is the dark secret, but they don't mind. like I said, like still not a bad guy. You're not the villain in this because you're there hanging out with him. It's all in good fun. Like I said, the Luck Dragon's there. It's all about keeping balance, I think, in the ecosystem of the Fantasy Zone. So that is all for today. Thank you all for being here. Really appreciate it. And we have one of the, another arcade kind of, I don't want to say rip-off because I like the game, but it's a rip-off coming up soon. For Night Striker from Taito, which is like Space Harrier in a really cool car in the city. So, hit that subscribe button and don't forget to hit the bell so you can be notified of when that and other videos come out. Uploading every Tuesday and Friday. So I hope you stick around, and thank you again for watching, and I will see you all next time.